you ever wonder if those supplements you're taking are actually doing anything? Or maybe you're not taking supplements, you're wondering if you're missing out on something. Here's the thing, supplements can be a game changer for some people, but a total waste of money for others. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 13 common supplements that people take and how do you know if you really need them or not. Let's start with a shocking fact. This blew me away. The global supplement industry is worth over $140 billion a year. But here's the thing, a large portion of that is just taken with unnecessary supplements. It's like buying a fancy sports car when all you need is a bike. So how do we stop falling into this supplement trap? Then you might be thinking, how do I know if I'm wasting my money on supplements that I don't need? Great question, and the answer lies in testing. But not just any testing. Some of the popular tests out there like hair mineral analysis, they don't tell you anything about your vitamins and minerals. They're not scientifically validated. Many people do them, but to be honest, I think they're a waste of money. What we need is accurate, comprehensive testing that gives us a clear picture of what's actually happening inside our body. Think of it as a nutritional GPS, so it shows you exactly where we're going to help you optimize your health. But there's some supplements out there that you just can't test them accurately. And also there's supplements like vitamin D or omega-3. You may not notice that you have a deficiency like with iron or B12, which can lead to things like fatigue. If you're running low, this silent deficiency can have long-term consequences. It's particularly important, especially if you focus on longevity. The body is really good at keeping things working and it'll compensate, but this may affect you later on in life. So if you're optimizing for longevity and optimal health as you get older, testing where your deficiencies are now is important. We'll dive deeper into the best testing methods a little bit later, including some of the nutrients that are difficult to accurately test. And that's why I take these 3 every day. Let's have a look at these individual nutrients. And the first one, and this is one that I take every day and one that most people probably should because they don't get enough from their diet. And that is omega-3 or fish oils. It's particularly high in things like EPA and DHA. And that can help to reduce triglycerides, improve heart health, lower blood pressure. And there's studies showing that it can be helpful for skin health, brain, depression, and inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Just because most people don't eat enough oily fish like sardines, salmon, things like that, it's a good one to take daily. You can check omega-3 levels in a test called the omega-3 index. So if you're wondering if you're taking enough or not, this test will give you a comprehensive analysis of your EPA, DHA, and whether you have the right balance of these fatty acids. The next mineral and this is another one that I take every day, is magnesium. So this can help with over 300 different enzyme reactions in the body. It's crucial for energy production, nerve, muscle health, heart health, and one of these vitamins and minerals you can test it in the blood, of course, but unless you're really deficient, most people come back looking normal. Yet, most people, when they take magnesium, they find benefits for, sleep, nervous system, even gut motility. So magnesium is one of those ones that I include every day. Vitamin D, also known as the sunshine vitamin, is crucial for health. It's crucial for things like bone health, and most people know that, but also immune function, mood, skin health, and preventing conditions like autoimmune conditions. And there's also studies out there showing that it can help reduce the risk of certain cancers. However, vitamin D levels vary from person to person. And many people, they don't get enough. Even if they do get enough sun, their body's not absorbing it. My wife is a classic example of this. She was driving boats to the Great Barrier Reef. You couldn't have a job with more sun if you tried, yet she still had low vitamin D levels. People living in areas where there's not much sun in winter may need to take vitamin D in winter, but not in summer. And you can test vitamin D levels just through a simple blood test. And you can also check parathyroid hormone, which is often not a better way, but another way of knowing whether you're getting enough vitamin D or not. The next mineral I'm going to talk about is zinc. So zinc is super important for immune function, but it's also involved in over 300 enzyme reactions. Besides immune function and wound healing, it's important for things like taste, smell, and even mood. An imbalance in zinc and copper can affect things like anxiety, depression. It works as an antioxidant, and it's important for growth and development. And you can check zinc in a blood test. And not everyone needs to take zinc, so doing a blood test for zinc, copper, can be a valuable way of knowing whether you need a supplement or not. The next one is B12, and this is super important for energy. It's known as cobalamin, and it's crucial for red blood cells, DNA synthesis, and maintaining a healthy nervous system. So B12 is one that many people can be deficient in, and the best way to check is through testing. You can do this in a blood test, or you can check for things like methylmalonic acid in an organic acids test. And you've got to be careful with B12 as well. There's different types of B12 supplements, and I always avoid the cyanocobalamin ones and either go for methylcobalamin, or if someone's got issues with things like anxiety, go for a hydroxycobalamin. And the levels that people need can vary from person to person, and anyone who's on a vegetarian or a low meat diet probably needs additional B12. There's also genetic factors involved in all of these vitamins and minerals. Some people, they may get some from their diet, but they may not be absorbing as well as they could be. The next vitamins are B1 and B2. These are super important for energy and metabolism. Most people do not get these tested, but they can be checked with a simple blood test from the Vibrant Wellness micronutrient panel. And it's important for breaking down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and for energy, helping the nervous system, brain function, and can even, things like high dose B12 can help with things like migraines. So a deficiency when you're younger may not even be noticeable, but it can lead to things like Alzheimer's and cognitive problems later in life. The next mineral I'm going to talk about is selenium. This is another one where many people can be deficient. Too much is a problem as well. This is a powerful antioxidant. It's important for things like thyroid function, immune system, helping to protect against cancers. It's vital for things like DNA synthesis and just optimal health. So you only want a certain amount of selenium. You can get it from things like Brazil nuts, but not everybody eats Brazil nuts. So the best way to know if you're getting enough selenium is to test. If you're ever supplementing with selenium, you always want to make sure that you take like a maximum of 200 micrograms a day. The next one is iodine. And this is super important for thyroid function. It also plays an important part in brain health and even with good quality bone health. So many people can have an iodine deficiency, but this is another one where you don't want to take too much. There's some people out there recommending really high doses of iodine, and that's not necessarily a great idea, especially for people with Hashimoto's thyroid. Iodine is super important for thyroid unless you've got Hashimoto's, and then it can be, can create this autoimmune storm. So you want to keep iodine out of the diet and out of supplementation if you've got Hashimoto's. The next supplement, this is one that I take every day, is creatine. It's hard to check creatine, so I just take it. And that's not just based on the research showing that it helps with, being a bodybuilder. In fact, that's the last reason I take it. But creatine can help with methylation, help with brain function, and there's more and more research on this. So anyone who's had concussions, those types of things, creatine can be great for their mental health and help with brain energy metabolism. So I take creatine for its neuroprotective and brain effects rather than bodybuilding. Although having good muscle mass is important as you get older. And that's another reason why older people probably should take creatine. The next supplement is a vitamin, it's folate. And many people have heard of genetics like MTHFR, which can affect your folate metabolism. And the best way to see what your folate levels are is by doing a blood test, or you can check this in an organic acids test as well. And if you do have the MTHFR gene, you might want to go for a methyl form of the folate, or if you don't tolerate these methyl vitamins because it leads to things like anxiety, then getting something like folinic acid, which is still an active form of folate. And you only need around 400 micrograms a day, even if you do have the MTHFR gene. High dose is not always a better thing. The next one I'm going to talk about is iron. And some people can have too much iron, many people can have too little. And the best way to know is to test. So iron is super important for energy and having healthy red blood cells and hemoglobin levels. But you must check things like serum iron and iron transferrin saturation percentage, ferritin, and TIBC. This all helps to know whether you've got enough or too much. A lot of doctors don't check iron, or they just check ferritin, but to get a full understanding of the iron, you need to do a full iron panel. The next supplement that a lot of people take are things like probiotics and digestive enzymes. These can be fantastic aids for digestion, especially if you're low in certain probiotic strains or if you're low in pancreatic enzymes. But how do you know if you need them? I recommend doing a comprehensive test like the Gut-Zoomer test. That measures things like pancreatic enzymes, but also a whole range of other markers that can help indicate why you may be low in enzymes. The Gut-Zoomer also checks pathogenic bacteria, but it measures all the beneficial bacteria species. So if you are low in these species, it will help you understand which probiotic one is the best for you. So you could be low in a particular type of lactobacillus, like Lactobacillus rhamnosus or Lactobacillus reuteri. So testing is the best way to understand whether you even need these types of supplements. So as you can see, there's some supplements like omega-3s or magnesium or creatine that you could probably take without even testing, although doing an omega-3 index is a great idea. But if you don't need to take all of these other supplements, why waste your money? It's like packing, a suitcase full of clothes for a holiday and you only use 2 or 3 things. Or sometimes, like I have a bunch of different supplements and certain things like vitamin C, zinc, astragalus. I might take them if I'm getting sick, or olive leaf extract. If I'm focusing on something, I might take L-theanine or something like that. You don't need to take a bunch of supplements every day. And there are people out there like Brian Johnson who have these supplement recommendations, and that's fantastic. This guy has literally done thousands of blood tests to work out the exact supplements that he needs for him. So for people to look at his videos and think, wow, I'm going to get Brian Johnson's supplement stack because it's going to make him live to 150, doesn't mean it's going to work for you or that you need all of those supplements. You're better off doing your own testing, working out exactly what you need for you. At Planet Naturopath, we can do a whole range of different testing, from all of the B vitamins to A, D, E, K, K1, K2, amino acid testing, all the mineral testing, to help you take out the guesswork and work out exactly what you need for you. We'll leave links to the different tests in the show notes, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below.